Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kristen, and today I'm sharing with you guys my top 20 favorite spring DIYs from the past few years. So let's get into it. Today's video is also sponsored by Magic Spoon. I was so excited when they contacted me because I knew that my girls and I would have so much fun trying these cereals out. My girls are cereal fanatics, although I am not, mostly just because there's so much sugar in cereal, so I try to stay away from that as much as possible. But you guys, I love Magic Spoon's cereal because they have 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. Only 140 calories per serving, and they're also keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low carb. I also think it's great because they have games on the backs of each of their cereal, which really brings me back to my childhood when I would like sit at the table and do all the games on the backs. I think that is super fun. If you guys want to check out Magic Spoon, there'll be a link to grab a variety pack in the description box below, and be sure to use my promo code KRISTINK to get $5 off any order. Also, they do back up their product 100%, so if you do not like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. So like I said, click the link below, use code KRISTINK, or go to the link to save $5 today. Okay, so I'm here with my daughter Presley, and I thought that we would do a little taste test for everyone and pick which one is our favorite. So we have peanut butter, we have frosted, fruity, and cocoa. So which one do you want to try first?
That one.
Okay. There you go. And I'm going to try peanut butter first. All right, ready? Cheers.
Yeah.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
Want to try this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll switch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Cheers. Thumbs up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to try this one.
Okay, so now I'm gonna do frosted, and you're gonna do cocoa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. You like it?
Mm-hmm.
You like that one too?
Mm-hmm.
I like this one. This one's really sweet too. All right, ready, set,
Go.
I like this one. This one tastes. This one tastes like cereal dipped in chocolate. All right, so now we're gonna pick our favorite one. Which one out of all three are your favorite? Fruity, frosted, peanut butter, or cocoa?
One of that one.
The fruity one? I think this frosted one is my favorite. Yeah, this one is definitely my favorite. It almost tastes like cereal dipped in frosting.
This one tastes like fruit.
Yeah? That one's a good one. Yeah, so overall, I think we like the fruity and the frosted, but these ones were both really good. I'm not a huge peanut butter fan, but this was actually really good. And then I really liked this one as well. And I was turning the milk chocolate, so you'll also have your chocolate milk. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our taste testing cereal. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring today's video. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, for this first DIY, I'll just be using a used, like, thrifted sign, but you could really use like any sort of like longer type of sign that you have. And I'm just filling in the holes because I'm making my own type of sign. So I'm just going to be filling these in, and then I'm going to be using these 3 frames from Dollar Tree and some scrapbook paper. And then I'm just going to be tearing the backs off the frames and then adding the scrapbook paper to the insides. Next, I'm just going to be taking these 3 smaller terracotta pots. These are also from Dollar Tree, and this was a year or so ago, so I don't know if they still have these out or not, but you can always pick some up wherever, Walmart. And I'm just going to be dry brushing a little bit around the edges just to get a little bit of white to these terracotta pots. And once everything was completed and dried, I'm just going to take the 3 frames and glue them to my longer sign. And then once that is done, I'm just going to be gluing the terracotta pots right to the centers of the frames. And then I'm just going to be adding some boxwood greenery to these. You could really add any sort of greenery or florals you want, but I love this and I think you can keep this up year round and you can always change out the florals per season. But I think this is so stinking cute for only a few dollars. Next one, I'm just going to be redoing this birdhouse. This was from a yard sale. It was only $1, and I tried to sand it as best as I could, but it just wasn't working the way I wanted. So I ended up just painting this with the Waverly chalk paint in white, and then going back in with the roof and the bottom and painting that with the Waverly chalk paint in ink. And lastly, I'm just going to be adding some moss into the whole of this birdhouse because this is just going to be for decor purposes only. And then I'm just going to be adding some cute little birds that were from the Dollar Tree. This DIY is from a yard sale. It was $2 and I did not like the way it looked at all. It was very 4th of July and primitive and it just was not my style. So I ripped out all the greenery and the side pieces, and then I did need a little bit of help getting the big wood pieces off the edges, and then sanded it down once again and started to paint. I'm just using the Waverly chalk paint. I use this often. I use it all the time. And I'm just going to be painting the entire thing white because it matches decor and I just love a good old coat of white. And when that was dry, I did end up finding this piece from Dollar Tree and I ended up painting it in the Waverly chalk paint ink and sticking it onto the side of the little toolbox. I always call them toolboxes. They could be floral holders. I don't know what we want to call those. But I painted it black and then I just made a stencil using my Cricut machine. I don't do this very often. I think it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's just one step more than what I need to do. I'm laughing because I miss the old credit card. I always used a credit card every time I would put anything on anything. You've seen it a lot. I'm just going to be using the lilac color in Waverly and painting my stencil. This just says fresh flowers. And then I'm just going to be adding my own florals from Dollar Tree and whatever I had in my stash. Favorite of mine. I'm using 3 crates from Dollar Tree and I cut one in half and I am just making my own stain. I love doing this often. I'm just adding water to any type of brown paint. It will work just fine. I'm going to be painting, this is the back side of the truck because I love these little farmhouse trucks. So that's what I'm going to be making. And then I just painted the other 2 or the 1.5 crates white. and then I'm just gluing them together. So you can use, if you wanted like a more secure hold, you obviously can use more than just hot glue, but sometimes I think hot glue works great, especially when you're using like wood pieces from the Dollar Tree. I feel like it always holds up really well. I've honestly never had anything fall apart that I just use hot glue with any of these type of crates. So once that was done, I needed some wheels. So I ended up just grabbing some of these little caps from my Waverly chalk paint, and I saved these, painted them black with this Waverly chalk paint and ink, and then I glued them to the bottom of the truck. I didn't even know what to say there. I just glued the 4 wheels on, and then I ended up using a paint marker to make a window, and then just added some florals to the back. I'm going to show this one next because I'll be using a few of these wood crates from Michael's. They are $9.99, and I don't think you can ever use a coupon for these. I think they always exclude the coupon. But I'm using 3 of them, and just like my smaller one, I was inspired to make a large one. So I had my husband cut one in the center, and then I'm just using some stain. I am not sure what this stain is. I want to say it is... I'm not sure what kind this is. I honestly have no idea. I just pick up whatever kind of stain looks pretty at the time, and then I go with it. But I would just go with a darker, whatever color that works for you, I would go for that. I also had my husband just cut some wheels out of some scrap wood, and that is what I did here. I'm just painting it. This is just black spray paint, probably matte by Rust-Oleum. That's usually what I use. I don't really care for the glossy, but I am just starting to put everything together, get everything painted, get everything finished, and then I did do the front and the back sides of these because you were going to be able to eventually see the back sides of the wheels once they were on the truck. Now I'm just using some Rust-Oleum white paint. This may be Rust-Oleum, this may not be, but I normally buy Rust-Oleum because I like the little the sprayer, or the little button for the sprayer. I always buy the same one, or I always lift the lid to make sure it's like that flat top. It's just my favorite. Once everything was dry, I just went in with some wood glue, and you're going to see how I hold all this together. It is so rigged when I do things. I really should get some clamps or something, but I don't even know how I would be able to clamp these together. So I just use like books from a yard sale that we had in our garage, but using wood glue. This ended up actually holding up for a long time, and then we got like a really bad windstorm and rain, and I didn't take this in, and it did end up getting ruined. So I really want to remake one of these because I loved using this for different seasons and holidays. And this just is so stinking cute. But yeah, wood glue for everything. And then once that was all put together, I ended up just making a super cute sign. Sorry, like my voice is like, ugh. That's just me. That just happens. Wood glue for the wheels. Then I just ended up making a cute little sign and adding some florals in the back, and I loved how this turned out. It was so stinking cute for spring and summer and fall. finishing it with the wood crates. This is another favorite and easy. I love using these wood crates. I've done a few videos with just crates, and I'm obsessed with using them. I'm just using the Waverly chalk paint in Elephant, and I'm gluing 3 of these wood crates together, and then I'm just going to dry brush it with some Waverly chalk paint in white just to give it a little more texture, and then I'm just going to be adding some florals from the Dollar Tree right inside this to make a cute little centerpiece. Next one, you'll just need a vase and some rope. I actually had some rope from burlap fabric, so I'm just going to be using that, and I'm just putting the rope all the way around the vase. And then next, I just cut a small circle, and then I painted the inside of the circle black because we're going to make a cute little beehive with this. And then I just ended up adding some yellowish florals and some spring colored florals to the top, and I just love the way this turned out. It was so stinking easy to make too. Made so many of these on my channel, but I love making them. So I'm just going to be making some faux books with these wood crates, painting it. I'm actually using Rust-Oleum chalk paint. That must have been what I had on hand at the time. And I'm just doing Sweet Like Honey. I just used my Cricut to make these. I'm not sure the font off the top of my head. I'm sure it's just the Arial, whatever it's called. Right in the beginning, I probably didn't change it at all, and I just did all lowercase. And then I just ended up using one of those fun little wall art decals from Dollar Tree and cutting one of these bees out. And then I just added some twine and some florals to the top, and that is it. It was so simple, so easy, and this is so stinking cute. This one I'll be using a chalkboard. It was $1 from a garage sale, but you can pick these up at Walmart. I'm not really sure how much they're. I want to say they're just over $2 or something like that. And then I'm just going to be painting the edges in the Waverly chalk paint and moss. I love this color. I love it for spring. I love it for any type of farmhouse decor. And it is okay that I got paint on the inside because I'm be using one of these calendars. This little bee, I thought this one was so cute, and I'm just going to be gluing it and cutting it to the center of my chalkboard, and then just to cover those edges up a little bit because some of it was going over just a little bit, I'm just going to be using some twine to cover up the mistakes. No big deal, and that is all I did for this. This one, I'm using a cutting board from Dollar General. It was $8, but I love it. It's big, it's nice, and I think this just is a really nice decor piece. I'm using a chalk couture transfer. This says Sweet Lemon Grove. I'm obsessed with using chalk couture. I love it, and I've been using it a lot more just because it really does make my decor look more high-end and nice, and I can reuse these stencils and these silk transfers multiple times, and I'm just going to be doing a fun little transfer on here with, I'm not sure what all the chalk pastes are, but if you do want to know, I will link in the description box below, but I know I'm using bright white and this fun green. This is like one of my first transfers I actually ever used and did, and I got obsessed ever since I started using it. But yeah, this one was really simple and easy, and I love the reveal of these, and I think this one is so pretty, and for a few dollars or just over $10, you can make your own. I just love this. We are back to the crates again, and I'm just using the Waverly chalk paint. I think this is truffle, and I mix it with a little bit of water to make my own stain, but this truffle is really pretty, and it is a dark brown, and I really, really do like this color a lot. And I'm just going to be painting 4 of these crates, and then I'm going to be also painting 4 of the wooden dowels that are from Dollar Tree, and these are actually the longer ones, and I'm using the Waverly chalk paint and ink just to give it a little bit of extra color, which do we consider like brown and white and black, like actual color? Maybe not, but it is just a little bit different. I love how these dried in the end. They were a little bit lighter than I thought they would be, but I really do like how they turned out. So I'm just going to be gluing 2 of the crates together, 2 of the other crates together, and then I'm going to be gluing the wooden dowels inside the crates to make a fun little stand. And I will link any videos in the description box below that I can if you guys want longer and more in-depth tutorials. I'm going to be using this Fresh Flowers sign from the Dollar Tree. They had this last year, and I just love the colors. I think this is so pretty. And then in the end, I just added a bunch of florals and greenery to the insides of these crates, and I just love the way this turned out. One, I'm just using a tag sign from Dollar Tree. I painted it the moss color and did a little bit of dry brushing with the Waverly chalk paint in white, and then I just cut out one of those Farmhouse calendars from Dollar Tree. I want to say this one was 2 years old. I could be wrong, but it's a 2020 calendar for sure. And I just cut out the cow, and then I glued it just using a glue stick. And then I just had a really cute sign from Dollar Tree as well. It said Farmers Market, and I glued it right next to the cow. And that's what I did here. It was really, really easy. Right here I picked up at Michael's. I want to say it was 70 or 80% off. It was when they had like killer deals on their spring decor. Everyone went nuts. Everyone went crazy and did haul videos and DIYs. It was nuts. But I love this one. I love buying nicer decor like this for just a few dollars. And I just painted the inside with the Waverly chalk paint in white and added this little greenery piece around the center just to make a fun little wreath. This was also from Michael's when they had their amazing deals. I'm just adding some command strips to the back to hold this down just in case I ever want to change it out. I did not want to use glue. And then I'm just adding this Dollar Tree galvanized truck to the center, and there we have our fun new decor piece. I know some people really did like the tomato sign, but it is just not my style. But this I can definitely get on board with. DIY honestly takes no time at all. This is another Michael's find, and I liked the greenery and everything in it, just not the tomatoes. So I honestly just flipped it over, used a rub-on transfer from Dollar Tree, added it to the center, and that is all I did for this. Was $5 from Dollar General, and I think it was supposed to have those marks because every single one of them did, but I sanded the top down, and then I am just painting the entire thing with the Waverly chalk paint in moss. It is a favorite color of mine, like I said, so I had to do this entire thing with the Waverly chalk paint in moss. I probably could have distressed it or done something just a little bit more to it, but I kept this really, really simple. And then all I did for the top was just go in with one of those rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree. This one was like a spring one, and I really, really like this, and it fit perfect on the top. Yeah, that is all I did to this. It's so cute. I love this stool. I have a red wheelbarrow for this I'll be making over. I think this came from Goodwill. It was a few dollars. I want to say it was like $3.09. Normally I never pay over that, but now the prices have honestly gone insane at Goodwill. It's almost really disappointing since knowing they get their items for free. It's just a very disappointing thing. Like I probably now could pick this up for like $12. It's crazy. We won't even go there. Let's just not feud. Let's just not feud about it, or we'll do a rant for another day. And I'm just painting it with the Waverly chalk paint in moss and the Waverly chalk paint in white. And I just added a fun decal. I think this was actually off my Silhouette Cameo. I'm almost positive. I kind of went back and forth using a Cricut and a Silhouette for a long time, and now I'm just like a diehard Cricut person. But I love this. It says fresh cut flowers and herbs, and then I have these little cans. I think these were from a yard sale, and then I'm just sticking some Dollar Tree florals in there, and that is it for this. I think this turned out so cute. A quick DIY with a table. This was $3. I'm using the Antebellum Blue by Dixie Belle. This is such a beautiful color, and I'm just going to be painting the entire thing with this, and then I'm just going to be adding a Cricut decal to the top. I just did some cute little birds, and I actually gifted this to my grandma a couple years ago or a year ago for her birthday, and this is just such a cute piece in her home. Next one, I love these signs from Walmart. I think they're $6.98. but they are really great quality and I love them. I love a lot of stuff. You're gonna like listen, like she loves everything, but it's better than not liking everything. And then I just decided to do a decal on this. I think this just looks really high end and nice. It just says Home Sweet Home. And then I just added a ton of greenery from Walmart along with some florals that were picked up at Dollar Tree. This I'll be using one of those wind chimes from the 4th of July and painting it black. I think I regretted painting it black after, so I decided to do like a fun little galvanized look to this just to make it a little more spring. I know it's not spring when it's a little darker color, but we went with it. I eventually got it to the galvanized-ish that I wanted. I'm just using like silvers and blacks and grays and just kind of mixing them together and like just kind of sponging my paintbrush. Now I'm just going to be using a Dollar Tree sign, covering it with some scrapbook paper, and I just hot glued the scrapbook paper. That's just crazy to me that I did that. I must have not had a glue stick on hand, but that is exactly what I did here. Normally I would just use a glue stick. Then I'm just going to be gluing the little galvanized wood piece that I did right to the bottom, and then I'm going to be adding one of those rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree to the center, and then I'm just going to be gluing some really fun those like fuzzy florals from Dollar Tree to the top to make this just very spring and super cute, and I love it. One, I'm actually using these corn cob holders, and I started spray painting them black. I have no idea why. I ended up going in with this like ocean blue breeze spray paint, and then just dry brushing it with just some brown. You could use like the Antique Wax by Waverly. I just ended up doing this. I wanted to make a fun little sunflower with these, and that is what I did. So I just used a foam board, and then I ended up using these garden stakes. These are from Dollar General. Cut them down to size, and then I did my famous faux stain just with some brown paint. I think this is truffle as well, with some water, and then I'm just taking a straight edge and making some shiplap for the back of my foam board. Like I said, there'll be more in-depth tutorials if you guys do want those, but this was actually really easy. Foam board, and then I'm just dry brushing a little bit just to make this a little more rustic on the back side, because I started laying everything out and it just looked so plain and boring. I'm using foam board for a center of my sunflower because that's what I'm making. I'm just kind of blotching this on there just to make it more look like a middle of a sunflower. And then I put everything together just using some hot glue, and that is it for this. There's no more explanation of this. Making a fun little frame with wood stakes. It's perfect. We have a saw, but if you don't, you could probably get just like I don't know what you could get. You could probably just get some sort of saw. It doesn't have to be fancy, but I bet it would work for these. And I know they have these this year at Dollar General. Once again, I've got to pick up like 50 of them because you never know. And then, like I said, lay them out, glue my little foam piece to the center. That was it. This was a fun DIY to make. That's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, consider sticking around and subscribing. Also, don't forget to check out Magic Spoon. You can click the link below and use Kristen K for $5 off, or go to magicspoon.com/KristenK to save $5 today. You guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!